Hey everyone, my name is Matt. Welcome to my shop. Today is April 17th and it's my weekly shop update. So I hope everyone is having a great week. I am starting to kind of get back into a schedule, into the swing of things. It's been interesting, I guess is a good word for it, having two toddlers and an infant in the house, but it's been overall really good. We're spending a lot of time together and yeah, baby's doing well, growing ridiculously fast. It is, first of all, it's crazy how small they are when you forget about how small they are when they first come out. And then it's crazy how fast they grow, and Eloise is growing really quickly. So it is it's good. Everyone's doing super well. So you may have noticed a slightly different backdrop for this week. The new tool cabinet is on the wall, and I am working on filling it up with all of the tools, which is super exciting. So I still have a decent number of tools to get in here, but this should give you a decent idea of the layout of everything and how much like extra space I kind of left myself. There is like all this space up here. I've got some more space for the till. I've got a few cubbies that still could put stuff in. There's still room on that door. There's still room on this door. I'm just getting started on this subsection right here. So for the most part, these are going to be pretty well empty. My draw knife is going to go up here, but then all this is going to be free space. Most of this will be free as well. This is going to be dividers and like my draw bore pegs and small stuff like that. So a lot of overflow space in there for any kind of future expansion. And then on this side I have overflow chisels as well as a section dedicated to carving gouges. So those are my secondary chisels, and those are my carving gouges. So still plenty of space all through here for lots and lots of things in the future. Definitely didn't want to go ahead and like pigeonhole myself into a cabinet that fits everything I have right now exactly. I wanted to make sure I had plenty of space to expand in the future. And I thought I had more carving tools, but that's it. I have 8. So on the tool holders, I went with pretty basic ideas and concepts, with the idea that, you know, this is a very modular space, so I can screw these cleats or whatever the holders are anywhere, and I can make more to expand and, you know, rearrange things in the future. So I wanted the actual holders to be very simple, easy to make, so if I wanted to change something in the future or make another one or get rid of them or whatever, I'm not going to feel too heartbroken about that. So a pretty standard marking gauge holder thing here, and as far as the squares go, that's just a rabbited block so that these squares or the bevels can fit on there and not, you know, not fall off, which is kind of nice. Nice quick thing to make, just a small rabbet on the top edge there, and it's just cut to whatever depth it needs to be to not be, you know, too wiggly. So that's that. Over here on the other side, I went with your pretty basic standard chisel holder, where it's kind of a twist and release kind of thing, like that. So if I need to change this, it's just a strip of wood with some holes and slots cut in it. You know, super easy to change. Shouldn't be very hard at all. Now, as far as interesting things go, the marking knife holder is one of the more interesting ones because those are all sitting in little slots that I milled on the Bridgeport. So that was a fun little mini project for me. I got to spend some time on the machine doing some really simple basic milling, but I was able to kind of figure out how wide the slots needed to be and then use the dials on the machine to make the slots the right width for each and every tool. And I got to use it as a drill press on an actual project for the first time, which was exactly what I anticipated. The smoothest, most effortless drill press I've ever used in my life. And I guess the only other tool holder of interest is my little rasp and file holder thing here. So that's just some slots that are cut into some blocks of wood and allow you to store these things horizontally. And I've left some space in here if I want to add another rasp in the future or what have you. So in just a couple of weeks, I will be in the UK at Crimson Guitars making an electric guitar, which I am very much looking forward to. So here in the shop, I am getting the stock ready to go for that guitar build, and I am super pumped about this. So every time I cut my big old slabs, I always get the comments about, you should make a guitar out of one of your slabs. And I'm like, yes, I should. So that's what I'm doing. So this is a small, I guess, technically offcut or waste piece from cutting one of the silver maple crotches. I grabbed this thing and just gave it a quick sanding with the belt sander just to get rid of all of the, I guess, the tanning from being out in the sun and stuff, and clean it up and just get a good look at what I had underneath all the roughness. And this stuff has a pretty good amount of figure. It's got some interesting spalting and just like early rot decay type of coloring. It's not rotted, but it is kind of going that way. So you have that kind of staining from the rot, and there is a ton of curl and a ton of quilting in this piece as well. So the overall blank for the guitar is going to be probably from here out to the live edge here. So I'll edge this off, and then it'll come to about here or so. So this area right here will be the main body of the guitar. And that just leaves me with the stock for the neck, which for that I have some curly birch. It's actually the lower section of the tree that I got these panels out of. So hopefully you can see the curl that comes down through here. This curl continues all the way down to the base of the tree. So that's a 6-foot section of curly stock. And that is going to be quarter sawn because that was towards the center of the log. So I'll be able to pull a nice quarter sawn neck blank out of the stock I have left over from making the door panels. So hopefully that'll make for a nice pairing between this guy, which has a sort of reddish tone, to the birch, which is a lot more white. Hopefully that should look pretty good. So that's what I've been up to this week. Let's take a look at some viewer projects. First this week is the coffee table by Charles. It's made from sugar maple, and Charles made it for his sister's Christmas present. It features stained wedges in the legs, dovetailed understorage, and live edge sugar maple edges. It's finished with corn oil and beeswax. Next is a 12-foot dining table by Keith. This table was the final part of Keith's dining room remodeling project. The main stretcher was done with the traditional Morse and tenon draw board with birch dowels. It's finished with a sprayed-on pre-catalyzed lacquer, and it seats 14 people. You can find more of Keith's work over on Instagram. Next is a buffet by Justin. It's made from walnut and bobinga, with walnut plywood used for case panels and maple used for drawer boxes. It uses a variety of joinery, including Morse and tenon, rabbets, grooven panel, hand-cut dovetails, and even a few pocket holes. It borrows style elements from a dining table and liquor cabinet that he also built in the same room. Last this week is a T-arc by Paul. The top, all the drawer bottoms, the dividers between the drawers, and the bottom are all veneered MDF. The top is crotch walnut. The drawer bottoms are maple on the inside and walnut on the bottom. The bottom is walnut on the inside and suede leather on the underside to give it a soft landing on other furniture. It features Brusso hardware, and the finish is Maloof poly oil and Maloof oil wax, with the final coat being a wax. And just a heads up, I did just restock on the logo shirts, these guys, as well as the sweatshirts, and I did add a couple other things to my store. If you've been looking for a size I've been out of, they're there again. And if you want to check out the new stuff, I will leave you a link to the little store shop thingy that you can check out and all that stuff. So this week I will be finishing up this thing. I have a few more tool holders to finish up, and then this thing will be good to go. And I am very much looking forward to being done with this thing. But I'm also equally happy with the way this thing has turned out. It is absolutely, I think it's beautiful, and it just makes me happy to be in here. Like, I find myself coming in here now, not doing anything, just standing here, just looking at it. So I got a lot of great response on the video last weekend on cutting boards. So I'm hoping to have those parts out like every other week and then put something in between them. So part 2 will be out in about 2 weeks, and then part 3 will be out in like, what, 4 weeks or whatever. So yeah, it's going to be a fun little series. I've got a lot of questions about that kind of stuff. So hopefully that kind of puts it all into one place. So if you want to saw boards or slabs, you want to know about drawing or anything, it's all kind of right there. So yeah, it's going to be a little fun little series. So I think that's about all I have this week. Thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments about anything I talked about today or anything here in my shop, please feel free to leave me a comment. As always, I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking.